Hi everyone, my name's Atlin. I'm the founder of Communicate Inclusively. Welcome to our discussion, which is all around International Women's Day. We're going to be talking about some of the challenges that women face, particularly women of colour, in the workplace and in educational institutions. I'm joined here today by Savannah and Natasha. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Savannah, do you want to go first?
Yeah, hi, I'm Savannah. I am currently a digital marketing master's student and a marketing executive. And yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking about sort of the way that women have impacted our lives and, the things that we do for each other.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. And Natasha, over to you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Natasha and I'm working as a digital marketing assistant with Atlin, and I'm really excited to be here today just to be talking around International Women's Day and also bringing to light some things that we face as women, especially women of colour.
Great, thank you, Natasha. It's great to have you here as well. Okay, so let's get this discussion underway. The first question is, what challenges have you faced as women in education and in your career journey? So, Natasha, let's start with you. Do you want to tell us about some of the challenges that you may have faced in your education and career journey?
So in terms of my career journey, well, I'll start with my education first. I went to an all-girls school. So I think across the board, generally, being at an all-girls school, there wasn't, not that we could see that there was any sort of difference being all girls. But I think when I got into my adult life, I went to uni, and then after I got a job at a law firm, and I think that was my first eye-opener as to seeing how women could be treated differently. And really, it was the challenges I faced were basically surrounded by kind of not having my voice heard, or kind of being overpowered by men. And I think as well, being a woman of colour, there can be sometimes an association with your ethnicity. For example, being an Indian girl, a lot of people will probably or may assume that, you know, you're meek and you're quiet, and that's how you were brought up and that's how you're meant to be. And I think that association kind of stays with how they treat you as well. So those are some of the challenges I've faced as a woman of colour in kind of the workplace. And as well, I later became a tattooist, which is a real contrast to where I started. So the tattooing industry is predominantly a white male industry. So for them, I think they were kind of shocked to have a woman and a woman of colour entering their studios. But I think it's really important as a woman to be confident in who you are and be good, knowing that you're good at what you do. I think that gives you the confidence to speak out and show that you do deserve to have your voice heard as well.
Fantastic, thank you. And it's great to see that you have been able to overcome those challenges and have learned from those challenges. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Savannah? How have you, or have you faced many challenges in your education and your career journey, being a woman and a woman of colour?
I don't, at the moment, I haven't really faced too many challenges. I think my journey so far has been pretty smooth. Like Natasha, I went to an all-girls school, so it was, you know, being surrounded by women. You know, we all sort of helped each other and empowered each other in that environment. And, you know, even sort of going to university, it was, you know, I never sort of felt out of place or targeted as a woman. I think a lot of that has to do with sort of like the university that I kind of chose to go to. A lot of the institutions that I've been to, they have a real focus on diversity and equality. So I think I've never, felt like super out of place or anything like that. And then I think in terms of, my career, I'm right at the start of my career at the moment. So, there's not too much to have experienced, but from what I have experienced so far, I have been really fortunate enough to be surrounded by a lot of great women who have helped to empower me through my career so far. And, I know that there's probably going to be a lot of challenges ahead. But yeah, I think so far it's been a pretty positive experience for me.
Oh, I'm really pleased to hear that. It's great to feel that I think things are changing and that there are many positive experiences out there that women can have in the workplace and in educational institutions. So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so while we're on the positive, let's talk about our educational and career highlights. So I think I'm going to kick off this discussion. I feel for me, I suppose quite advanced in my career progressions, and there have been many highlights. But I feel more recently the highlight has been being able to focus on work that I really enjoy. And I know it sounds quite simplistic, but I think sometimes women fall into career paths and into roles that maybe they're not intrinsically linked to something that they thoroughly enjoy. Or if it is, the experience that people have within that is not quite what they expected. At the moment, I wear multiple hats and work on many different projects, and I can truly say that all of them bring me a lot of joy. They are within areas that I'm very passionate about. And so for me, I feel like I'm in a fantastic place within my career and where I can use my skills and the experiences that I've gained to make a difference, I'd say, in other people's lives, and to feel that I'm really adding value in terms of the work that I'm doing. So I'm in a really positive space. I'm really loving the work that I'm doing. So that's a highlight for me. Okay, what about you, Savannah? What are your educational and career highlights?
I think sort of my first educational highlight would be, getting my bachelor's degree. I sort of completed that, really good grade. I was really happy with it. Being able to graduate was, really good. And, now being able to do my master's, I'm, hoping to get the best out of that as well. And really hoping that all of this is going to help me move forward in my career. And then I think in terms of my career, just being able to work in what I want to do for the future. I think a lot of people in my position doing education, they're not sort of fortunate enough to be working in sort of what they're trying to study for and what they're trying to aspire to do. So I feel very fortunate enough to, be working in that. And it's something that I love and I have found a passion for. So I'm hoping to really progress in this.
Oh, that's so great to hear. I do feel that sometimes when people are starting out in their careers, they haven't always got access to the opportunities that they'd love to have. But I do feel that you're setting yourself up for a fantastic start by having hands-on experience within a sector and a role that you're very passionate about. Because I think going forward, I suppose it's unfortunate in a way that society and the corporate world, they look for you to have not only a fantastic education but also a fantastic experience, and sometimes that can be hard to go hand in hand. So I'm really pleased in terms of your educational achievements so far, and in terms of you being able to get that hands-on experience. I think you're going to have a fantastic career, and even if you decide to change pathways, I think just starting off in this way is really positive, and couldn't really ask for anything more. So yeah, I wish you luck in your future stages. I know you're going to do amazing. So thank you for sharing that, Savannah. Okay, so on to the next question. And what can women do to support each other in the workplace? Natasha, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it's really important for women to feel like they're heard, and for women to support each other, kind of championing each other's successes, or whether it's small or big. I think that's so important. And as well, I think women can, I think women can feel sometimes that it's hard to give feedback without being labelled sometimes. I think women can feel, in comparison to a man, they can feel that they're often labelled as maybe aggressive or bossy or something like that. And I think it's really important for women to support each other, just so that, you know, there isn't that constant labelling and facing labels like that. I think that's so important.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel, we did our webinar on feedback previously, but I do think feedback can have a very positive impact, especially if it's given with the right intentions. And I think as women, we can give really valuable feedback to support and help each other to progress. And so I definitely would agree with you on that one. And I do think, you know, sometimes, you know, women can be seen as being quite judgmental and having to work, you know, twice as hard as other people, especially women of colour. So I think as we fully understand that we should support each other more, and to come from a place of experience and to kind of help others that we see who are going through and maybe having a similar experience to what we have had. And so I feel that, you know, we can be allies to each other and we should be open to doing that. But also I think for me personally, is helping women to progress in their careers. You know, it's great working with you guys, and you know, the value that you bring is immense and amazing. But also, if I can, you know, give back to you guys and to help you on your career journeys and to give any feedback or advice, or even I think for me, which is just really important, and it's kind of something that Savannah touched on a little bit, is just that confidence. And I feel a lot of women in the workplace lack the confidence, and so I feel a lot of what I want to give to the women that I work with, you know, including yourselves, is that confidence to say you're amazing, you're doing a fantastic job, you're skilled in what you do, and you are bringing value. And when you walk into the workplace, you with your head high and you know what you're bringing. Because a lot of women, they are amazing and they do great work, but they just don't even take the credit for it. And, you know, men and organizations are more than happy to take credit for our work, and we do not want that to be happening. We need to be grabbing our flowers and saying that, you know, I've done this and I deserve the rewards and the recognition for what I'm bringing. So that's the kind of support that I want to bring to you guys and to all women that are work or from working, or in my daughters. I've got 2 girls, so obviously it's really important for me to give them the confidence to be able to progress through the world in a really positive way. So thank you for sharing that. That was great. Okay, so on to our last question now. And I'm going to put this to Savannah. What can organisations do to create more of an equitable environment for women in the workplace and in educational institutions?
I think at the moment, you know, there's a big focus on being able to adopt sort of fair practices and equal practices that revolve around equity. But I think, you know, one of the things that organizations and institutions also need to consider is that, yes, we want equality on some levels in some situations, but they also need to acknowledge that there are different needs that we as women and, you know, even as individuals that we kind of need, and being able to facilitate that, I think, is really important moving forward for organizations and institutions.
I do think that's such a great point. And also I think just these discussions, you know, over the last few years, International Women's Day has become a big thing. And I think it's such a positive move, because I think it opens the minds for leaders in organisations. And to be honest with you, those leaders can be men and women. Not even all women realise that they can do more to create more equitable environments for women in the workplace. So I think just, you know, keep having these discussions, keep talking about our experiences in the workplace. I think will encourage organisations to do more. I think a space where organisations are starting to do more, but I think they can do even more, is in terms of boardrooms. I think there should be more women in the boardrooms. You're still seeing there's not a 50-50 split. And so I'd love to see more women in leadership positions in organisations. And I think one of the reasons for that is perhaps that, you know, a lot of people, when they reach that level, are kind of in their 40s and 50s and around that age group. And a lot of women go through their menopause at that age. And I feel that organisations are not giving enough support for women who are going through the menopause. And, you know, it can, you know, have an impact on women in terms of their performance, you know, their physical health, mental health, etc. And I think it's really important for organisations to do more to support women through that period in life. It's something that all women have to face, and the same as pregnancy and, you know, adolescence, etc. And so I think organisations need to understand that and do more to help women through that stage in their life. And also put in place programs to create more equity within the boardroom and in those leadership positions. So those are my top priorities in terms of what organisations could be doing more to help women in the workplace. Okay, guys, it's been so nice talking to you. And so we can go through more things. I think, you know, I can have another day. But thank you so much for joining us today and having this discussion for International Women's Day around the challenges that women of colour face in the workplace. Thank you so much.
Thank you.